Subscription number 376, Magazine 18. Start. Mr. Chairman, sir, I rise to support the demands for grants of the Ministry of External Affairs. Non-alignment and punctual are two basic ingredients of our foreign policy. Since we achieved independence, we had to face so many internal and external pressures, yet we remained firm in our policy. This can be attributed to strong leadership of the party, which has all along been in power at the center except for the brief spell of 2 years. After our independence, under the dynamic leadership of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the role of India in the international sphere was identified, and we always kept ourselves away from the politics of Cold War. There is no gainsaying the fact that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the founder of non-alignment when he was the deputy chairman of the interim government. It was Pandit Nehru who first gave an idea of non-alignment on 7 September 1946, and in those days the non-alignment movement was considered an affair confined to Titu, Nasser and Nehru only. But Nasser entered the international arena in 1953 and Yugoslavia was aligned towards Soviet Union. This non-aligned movement is not only an ideal policy, but it has played a significant role in the economic and social development of our country. It was very essential for the development of our country and for building economic relations to establish links with both the superpowers. That is why today India is called the chief spokesman of the third world. By the non-aligned movement, we have proved that international relations can be demarcated, and along with it, we have been able to raise the UNO to level of an ideal seat of power. We have been able to contain colonialism to a considerable extent. Therefore, I want to submit that in putting an end to colonialism and in developing international democracy, the non-aligned policy of our country achieved enormous success except few expectations. For example, although Iraq and Iran both are non-aligned countries, they are at present involved in a prolonged war which has reached to a point that makes it the most glory battle in the matter of bloodshed, next only to the Second World War. The way oil vessels were destroyed recently and indiscriminate bombardment of civil population makes our heart fill with terror. I will also say that though we are making efforts to declare the Indian Ocean as a zone of peace, but several warships are sailing around our waters. I will say that we have achieved some measure of success, but some expectations are definitely there. We have not made much progress in South cooperation. The reason is that many nations are not prepared to accept this concept. Still, we have not stopped making efforts in this direction. Recently, at the behest of President Julius Nyerere, Shri Manmohan Singh, the renowned economist and deputy chairman of the Planning Commission, was appointed as the Secretary General of the South Commission. And I think that our country will definitely achieve success in this matter as well. Among the superpowers, the Soviet Union is our best friend. Our friendship has stood the test of time and they have always lent their support to us at the time of need and crisis. For example, they supported us when we were dragged in wars in 1962, 1965, and 1971. And I want to emphasize that our friendship with Russia has not come in the way of our policy of non alignment at all. I would also like to submit that in 1971 war, despite our signing a treaty of peace, friendship and cooperation with the USSR, we refused to accept the proposal of Asian Collective Security Scheme as it was against our policy with China. We have also to see as to which nations are our friends. We did not accept the aforesaid treaty, yet it did not affect the Indo-Soviet relations in any way. We can proudly claim today that we are having rupees 5,000 crores worth of trade with the Soviet Union, whereas in 1954 our trade was worth rupees 1 crore only. Along with it, USSR has given us MiG-29, which were not given even to the nations under the Warsaw Pact. Chairman Gorbachev visited our country in 1986 and Shri Rajiv Gandhi also went there, and this has made our relation more profound, and Shri Gorbachev in his speech in Moscow stated that Indo-Soviet friendship was an important step in maintaining international stability and peace. Insofar as the other superpower USA is concerned, we have many things in common. It also believes in the principles of democracy. We share the same opinion on the issues of democracy, freedom, and racial equality. Stop. 840 words.